Poverty is never something to be comfortable with. Mind you, the bottom 20 of every society in terms of living conditions and in terms of earning are considered poor, and they are considered to be in poverty. And the topmost 20% of any society in terms of living society and in terms of earning are considered to be rich. Absolutely. If you go to a low living society, the bottom 20% are considered as poor in that living society, and the topmost 20% are also considered as the rich. So to me, there is no any specific number or specific amount that depicts somebody to be in the bottommost society. In this video, we are here to discuss about 20 rules that governs the law of poverty, that governs the law of being poor. And here are the 20 rules or laws that governs poverty. Number 1. Poverty is half circumstance and half mindset. Yes, circumstance play a vital role on our own life. But mind you, circumstance is something you can change with force. You can change your circumstance if things are not going your way. And the other half, which is mindset, it's a kind of there is poverty mindset. If you let yourself have or carry a burden of poor mindset, you can never change your status. Even if the most richest man in the world is going to bless you with half of his wealth, over time you will still come back to that poor or poverty situation you used to find yourself in. That is what we call poverty mindset. Once you let yourself get attached to poverty mindset, you'll never get out of that situation you find yourself in. Another name we call this rule is 50% bad luck and 50% bad decision. The 50% bad luck is your circumstance, something you find yourself in. And the 50% bad decision is that mindset that we talk about. Once your mindset is poor, all the decisions you are going to make about finance are definitely going to end up poor. Because the way you think is completely the poor thinking. This is obviously the poor thinking. Poverty is often a mix of life's hardship and personal acceptance of those hardships. And life is unfair. But let's be honest, sometimes you help poverty do its job. The next one, which is number 2, is being poor versus being broke. Well, if you look deep into this, you'll find out that one is a condition, while the other is a temporary setback. Temporary setbacks are just, as the name implies, temporary. You get out of definitely over time. So knowing the difference changes everything. You could be broke, but at all circumstances, don't admit to yourself, never admit to yourself that you are poor. Admit that you are broke. And being broke means a temporary, over time you are going to get back. Another name we call this rule is broke and poor are cousins, not twins. Being broke is like catching cold, which definitely over time you're going to get better without taking any drugs. But being poor is like having a malaria with no money for drugs. How are you going to get better? I bet you malaria without money for drugs or without drugs itself is another name. It's something different. I bet you about this. So the thing is, no matter what, try as much as you can to never be poor. Sorry. Do whatever it is. Anything that aligns with your rule of life. Rule of life is, your religion. Anything that doesn't go out of your own belief, your religious belief, do it to get yourself out of being poor. It's okay to be broke, but to be poor, it's never okay. Don't even let yourself be or believe that you are poor. The next is the educated prey on the uneducated. You might be thinking of how. Well, knowledge is power, as it is said, and those who lack it often find themselves at the mercy of those who have it. The uneducated person usually find themselves under the umbrella or under the mercy of those who have the knowledge, and knowledge could help you get yourself out of poverty in many, many ways. In other words, we said smart people love the dumb crowd. The educated will always make sure the uneducated stay uneducated because someone has to buy their overpriced courses. When you look at the way things are going today, even today on the internet, you find out that courses are sold everywhere. Schools are everywhere. And the most expensive thing right now is education. To go for education, you need to pay huge money because the educated ones always want to sell their service at a very, very high cost. So, is this the only effect of this? Even if you look at the history, the educated prey, like they said, knowledge is power, as I caught this earlier, always find a way to manipulate the uneducated ones. And you know what? The uneducated ones hardly find a way to escape this. The next rule is poor parent can't teach well. And financial literacy is no exception. If you don't know anything about finance, how to manage it, and how to pass the education to you don't even have the knowledge. Come to talk of passing it to your younger generations. You don't. In other words, we said broke parents give financial advice for free. But mind you, that financial advice never work. Because nothing screams money expert like someone who had never had any. Usually the ones who don't have the one that feels like I know how I can solve this. They are the ones that bust out to advise you on any financial advice. And mind you, if they can help in any way, why don't they help themselves in the first place? The thing here is, no matter what, try as much as you can. Whenever you receive any advice about finance from anybody that never had something huge, something above what he is advising you over, think twice before taking that advice from that person. The fifth on the list is always rely on miracles instead of hard work. Instead of starting a hustle or applying for jobs, just go to mosque or church and pray for financial breakthrough while doing nothing. When your mates are there working, you are shouting, God, please answer my call, answer my prayer, pick my calls, God. God is calling you, bro, but you are not answering with effort. You need to act like you want before God will really provide for you. The next is hard work alone won't make you rich. Probably the hardest working person in the world would live in poverty. This, I'm not the one that say it is a quote. Some of the most labor-intensive jobs pay the least, keeping many stuck in poverty. If you look at the tech industries today, you'll see somebody sitting under AC in a very lavish environment, lavish office, in a very soft sofa, just typing his system, thinking through in his head, and giving command, and ended up receiving very, very high salary. Go to the mining site, see the way people are suffering in this world, digging walls, being buried by what they dug by themselves, looking for some things to go and make and feed their family with. Those are the hardest type of people. Look, let me tell you, there was once I visited somewhere in Nigeria, in Kaduna State, and I find out that people are digging under the river to look for sand, the sand they used to build in their own sites. Somebody will dive into him. Look, without any machine, him alone with there's this thing they used to get this the sand out of it. There's this thing they used to get the sand from the bottom of the river. How do I explain? It's like a gas cylinder. Then they open the top, they handle it, sink to the bottom of the river, pack the sand, and swim to the top. They now onboard it inside their canoe. They now dive again, go and get it again, come to the bottom of the river, dump it inside their canoe again, sink again. That's how they will do the whole day, pack all those things. And do you know how much they sell? At a very, very useless price that cannot feed their family in a good way. They are just managing their life with that very, very much of hard work. So usually the hardest workers are often the poorest. If sweat made people rich, bricklayers would own private jets by now because they are among the people that work the hardest. The next on the roll is misery loves company. Poverty thrives in communities whose struggle is normalized and ambition is scarce. Poverty is a team up sport. Misery loves company and broke people love farming. We rise by lifting others. WhatsApp groups where nobody rises. I know maybe we do not understand this. What I mean by this is, if you are poor and you surround yourself with poor mindset people, definitely both of you are going nowhere. And that is what we just said by misery loves company. It's an indirect way of saying poverty loves company. When you are in poverty and within the company of people that are also poor just like you, I bet you both of you are going to end up in the same pit. The next is the poor seek help but not solutions. Many look outward for rescue but barely look inward for change. The simpler way of explaining this point is the poor look for help from outside but never inward to themselves. And if all the time you're waiting for somebody to help you, you'll just turn to beggar to that person, and that person could be helping you, but believe me, over time, you'll lack value in his eyes. And you would never upgrade your living standard. He would never upgrade your living standard. Had it been you looking inward to yourself to find a way and get yourself out of that kind of poverty, I bet you over time you'll find a solution. If only the poor seek for solution, not for help, many people's situation would have been solved by now. So the simplest way to explain this is the poor expect help, not solutions. Waiting for the rich uncle to change their life. Spoiler. So the next is poverty changes you in multiple ways. Poverty will never change you in only one way. It changes you in different multiple of ways. Do we understand this? Let me give a brief explanation to understand this. What I mean by poverty changes you in multiple ways is it does not change you in lacking money alone. It does not prevent you from having only money. You see, poverty will limit your choices. Poverty will limit your opportunities. Poverty will even limit your own mindset. Do you understand this? It changes your mindset, your choices, and even your future. Poverty will change that. So poverty will not change you in just a single way. So no matter what, my brother, my sister, live poverty, struggle, strive, and make sure you live poverty. Strive in all ways possible, in all ways allowed, not prohibited in your way of life, which is your religion. Try as much in any way as it does to get yourself out of poverty. So the 10th is entertainment is a distraction tool. And you know what? The rich keep you distracted with fun stuff. The wealthy keep the poor entertained to prevent them from questioning the system. While you are binge watching Netflix and TikTok, they are making money from your attention span. Let me explain. Google are very, very rich. All those social medias are very, very rich. Yet they entertain you. They always look. That was why they are even paying credit. In fact, even myself, that is why I'm giving you this to watch, so that over time I will reach somewhere I wanted. And that somewhere I wanted is, please subscribe to my channel and like my work, because that is what they will do to make me happy. So let us progress. Entertainment is one of the things that you see those people, they entertain themselves by making more money. You'll see them on the yacht, You'll see them traveling, business classes and the rest. All those things they are doing it to progress in their business, yet they are enjoying it, they are entertaining it. And let me tell you, the best entertainment is enjoying the profit of your labor. I mean, let me tell you something small about myself. I do business, and the best thing I like, one of the things that I miss is if I travel, is being around my core business people, where we enjoy, where we chat. If there's no look, let me tell you, even if there's no market, we go and sit in front of our shop. That is why if you're in Nigeria, you go to some markets, you'll see the marketers outside just discussing. You'll see them as if they are living a very, very comfortable life. It's because they enjoy that thing to some certain extent. So what I'm saying here is enjoy doing your business, not something outside of your business. It's not bad to enjoy outside of your business, but don't make it a priority that I make 100,000 for instance, or I make 1 million for instance. Then I have to enjoy. Maybe I will have to go on a party or on a vacation, or I have to sit and enjoy myself for hours that are not productive. The more hour you put into entertainment, the more hours you waste from being productive. The next is easy money never stays. I hope you know this. Easy money will never stay. Let me put it this way. Wealth gain without effort disappears just as quickly as it comes. So fast money is fast to live. That unexpected alert, don't worry, your problems already have plans for it. Before you know, your problems will take them out of your pocket. You wouldn't invest them, I promise you. You're thinking that if I see 1 million now, I'll invest it. Yeah, keep putting it in your mind. But mind you, if you do not start investing with the little you have when that one comes to, you would not invest it. And even if you do, over time your problem will be tickling you to make sure that you go and withdraw them. To make sure that you go and sell that share. If it's crypto you bought, to make sure that you go and sell that crypto and do whatever you wanted. Because your mindset would never let you rest until that money is gone. That is why it is said that quick money doesn't stay. Fast money is fast to live. So the next is debt and consumerism are the new chains. Modern slavery doesn't use whips. It uses credit cards and endless payments. You see, the most indirect way of slavery is owing somebody. Try and be in debt of somebody. And you know what? That person would eventually and mysteriously become your own in-law. The way you will be respecting that person. The way you will be obeying that person because you are owing him. My brother and sister, don't let yourself fall into that trap no matter what. Try as much as you can to avoid all these rules of poverty we are mentioning. Avoid them as much as you can, please. The rooster is disturbing us. Don't mind me, I don't have a studio yet. Debt is just a slavery with an interest rate. Your ancestors had chains. You had credit card bills, allowance applications calling you 24/7. If you don't understand this, maybe God save you, you are not in debt. Try and get yourself if you want to understand it. So the next is being poor is expensive. And mind you, being poor is the most expensive lifestyle in the world. If you are doubting me, try it. And if you are already into it, hey, my brother, you're already in mess. The less you have, the more you pay for everything in the long run. Everything costs more when you can't afford it. Even your stress is on premium subscription. Are we understanding this? The most hardest part of being poor is that everything is expensive in life. Everything. You end up buying maybe something of 1,000 naira, but the way it will touch you inside, it's nothing compared to a rich man buying something of 1 million. So the most expensive lifestyle is to not have enough. The next is money grows when planted. I believe that some of us believe that money doesn't grow on tree. Well, that mindset is for those who never planted it before. Those who say wealth isn't attainable never made the effort to cultivate it. That's just the simple thing. Money actually grows if you plant it. For sure, keep spending like a government worker in December. I believe you would stay in that situation, in that lifestyle you are, or even worse over time. Try as much as you can to start planting. When I say plant, I believe all of you knows what I mean. Don't go and do the opposite. Don't go and start digging the soil to plant money. You know what I mean. Even if you want to dig and plant your money, you can go into agriculture or something like that. It's also a way of planting your money. But I believe investment is the best way, and that investment could be in any way. Just invest. Over time, you are going to enjoy. And the next is dying poor is a choice. This is what I was said in my research, but I added a sentence in the front. And the sentence I added is struggling for money is a destiny. So dying poor is a choice, but dying struggling is a destiny. You could die struggling to make it without making it. That one is a destiny. But you are poor and you're not struggling to get out of that, and you die that way. My brother, it's not your destiny. It's your own choice. Staying down is an option, but fighting for a better path or taking. Are we understanding? Dying broke is just a choice. Dying trying is a movie plot. It's your destiny. You are just destined to die trying, but if you die without trying, my brother, you are just choosing to stay poor. So you can either accept your fate or die to have a better tragic backstory. And it's always better to die trying. I believe you and I bet you on this. The next on our list is Spend money you don't have to impress people who really don't care at all. Broke? No problem. Just take a loan to buy an iPhone or designer clothes so people on Instagram think you're rich. Meanwhile, your bank account is crying and your landlord is warming up to embarrass you. The next on the list is complain more, hustle less. A true broke champion never stops complaining about poverty, but never actually does anything about it. Business idea? Too stressful. Job? Employers are wicked. Online skills? Data is too expensive. Just sit alignment. So why hustle when you can sleep for 12 hours and wake up to blame the economy? If anyone asks why you're broke, just say Nigeria is hard. Meanwhile, your mates are making millions by waking up before the rooster. Forget personal responsibility. If you fail an exams, it's Tinubu's fault. If you spend all your money on shawarma, it's because the economy is bad. If your girlfriend leaves you, it's because of bad governance. Nothing is ever your fault. The next on the list is ignore all financial advices. Continue wasting your money. Just continue wasting your money. Someone tells you to invest. Scam. Save money. For what? Budget. Who has time for that? Instead, just keep spending recklessly and pray that one uncle abroad will send you money randomly. If you like, don't take financial advice from the financial gurus out there. The next on the list is make sure you always have expensive taste on a cheap budget. You don't have a steady job, but you only drink imported wine and eat chicken wings at fancy restaurants. You reject cheap things because I get standard. Meanwhile, your wallet is empty. Somebody offers you 50,000 naira for a small job, but you're like, I'm not fit to work for that small money. Oh. Better to stay broke while waiting for the $1 million opportunity that will never come. So, which rule have you seen in action the most? Or do you know someone who follows all the rules or follows almost all the rules? Which one do you relate to the most? Or do you have one more rule to add? Please add in the comment section.